So I'm seeing a whole lot of panels from JJK Modulo talking about that the new big bad is being compared to Sukuna already. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's like it's chapter two. You want to hype up your big bad villain already in JJK Modulo. And I get it. I get it. Sukuna was the big bad. He's somebody that you would want to be compared to. However, we're talking about a guy who, for over 1,000 years, was able to use his intellect alone to defeat sorcerer after sorcerer. What do I mean by that? Don't forget, JJK is all about intellect. At the end of the day, they are sorcerers. They are warlocks. They are wizards. They are not fighters. They're not CIA. They're not FBI. They're not whatever you think. These guys are using cursed energy, a power system that allows them to use different techniques, right? It's the same as like magic, man. Like the only difference is the fact that they have to have negative emotions in order to harness more cursed energy. And that's so cool at the fact that like, hey, if you go through harder things in life, then you grow in power, not just like in the body and mind, but like your cursed energy pool increases as well. That's pretty dope, honestly. And Sukuna had the largest amount of cursed energy out of anybody we've ever seen in this show. This man did it for the love of the game. He went to Kenjaku, said, "Hey, I want to know how I can, live on throughout 1,000 years, kind of like you do." And obviously, he couldn't just take Kenjaku's curse technique, right? So Kenjaku did him a solid. He said, like, "Yo, do this binding vow with me. I'm gonna show you how to create cursed objects out of your own body so that you can incarnate in the future." Sure, that doesn't bring him back to full strength, at least right away, but it does bring him back. Just another form of sorcery to increase his intellect because may I remind you guys that if Sukuna sees anything done once, he can perfectly mimic it because he is that smart and he understands his cursed energy and the power system he's in to just manipulate whatever. And for all of you guys saying he's a bind and bow merchant and gay rushed the story ending, my man was sick and he had mental like health issues going on. He was very depressed towards the end of JJK. He had so much pressure. You guys remember the MAPPA editors, right? Like what was going on with them? It's the same thing with Gege, man. Give him a break, all right? Just because like the story ended the way it did doesn't mean that Sukuna, his binding vows and everything doesn't take away any of his credit for who he was and how strong he is, and it doesn't take away the writing from Gege. So basically, all of this is just say that if you're gonna compare your villain to Sukuna in chapter two of your manga series, right? He needs to live up to the intellect and he needs to be able to hit some crazy binding vows and just some crazy amount of sorcery on the spot, especially if you're already calling your villains warlocks, okay? Oh, yeah, and subscribe.